afternoon, Tacticum followers. Dr. Collingwood here. I wanted to tell you more about Tacticum and Tacticum Invictus in particular. We're going to be showing you some how to play videos soon, so you'll know how to play too. All right, welcome into the Gamological Institute studios. We're going to finish setting up, where we got two sets here, and show you some of the movement and how things go. All right, so it's the Roman legions, and you have an individual unit. And so this is an individual group, and it moves like a rook in chess. So it can go right, left, it can go up and back. It stops when it runs into other units, so it could be yours or theirs, or if it gets to the edge of the board, it has to stop as well. So we've got, your units are all moving around. The objective, of course, is you're trying to capture your opponent's units and get them off the board. So, and that is done by bracketing. So if I boldly moved out here, then black would have no problem just moving a little. I'm bracketed now, and white is captured. Now, it doesn't have to just be one piece. It could also be, you've got 2 or 3 pieces in there, that would all, they would be captured too. Now, if there were 4 pieces and you finished it off, that's not really realistic, but in the Tacticum world, your instructors are trying to really beat into your head, don't get flanked. So it's a key thing. So if you're feeling crazy, somebody might give you that opportunity and then you can take it. All right, well, what if I do if I really don't want to get captured? Well, in Tacticum, when you have 4 in a square, they become a square formation. It could be that last turn I moved somebody here, or it's already that way. So on this turn, they can move 1 or 2 spaces. Now the advantage of a square, let's say this guy's here, somebody's out over there. Now black says ha. But the square formation, I've got mutual support, and so there's no capture. So that works out pretty good. Now, let's see. Now what am I going to do when I've got squares running all over the place? How's that going to help me? Let's show something real quick too while we're here. Let's say we're here, white's happens to be here. So that would be a capture, but you can, this would also be a capture. You can move your square up and then take that piece. Would also be a capture. All right, so let's take a look. Now, what do I do with all these squares? All right, well, let's say black goes ahead and makes a column. So 3 pieces in a straight line is a column, and it gets to move 1, 2, or 3 spaces, and it captures by impact. So his column comes in, and white is out of there. And you'll notice something else in this move too. There was a flanking occurred too. So that's a powerful one. That piece is captured as well. Now, so you see a square is very defensive, kind of moves slowly. It can be used defensively too. The column is very offensive, and it is also very weak, because if you came boldly in there, you might think, hey, I'm going to get 2 for 1, but you just lost a whole column. So it's weak in the actions behind there. All right, so what is the point of all this? Let's get us some pieces back together and see what we've got here. Well, in the scenario we have set up here, this is force on force. It's the first scenario. And the objective here is to get your opponent down to 5 units or less, including the commander. So let's talk about the commander piece for a minute. So he's got the helmet. Your command piece has the extra property of it cannot be captured. So if it was to get flanked, it just can't be captured. So if it was part of a group, only 1 piece would leave. So how does this come into play? Well, if you can immobilize your opponent's commander, then that is also a win condition, right? So you might think, let's say this guy's not here, and white gets to go, ha! Your commander, crash, is immobilized. But if you look carefully, you'll see that commander is part of a column either to his left or his right and can move away. So he moves over and says, ha, and you go, all right, fine then. Oh, maybe a good time to point out too, this is not a suicide. All capturing has to be active. Black would have to move in to do the bracket. Oh, so here goes white. I've got you now. Well, turns out black is also part of a square now. He could just go 2 spaces away, 1 or 2, and say no. In fact, if you go drat and then go off to do something else, he might just go and take that. So it's not really easy to capture the commander, but it can be done. Sometimes situation will show up good for that. All right, so that's the basic moves: unit, square, and column. And the commander has certain properties as well. In the next clip, we'll show you about the new line formation, assemble, and give you a peek at cavalry.
Dr. Speckless, it's time for the training video.
Right, very good.